Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to day 5 of the Spring into Simple Decluttering Challenge. I'm in a different space today. My husband's working from home, so he's in the kitchen, which is right beside my office, having a meeting. So I'm out in our beautiful sunroom. So it's very bright out here right now, so I apologize if I'm squinting a little bit. I feel like I almost need sunglasses, but it's beautiful. The sun is shining in here, and it's just lovely. So it's a great place to have our little chat this morning. Before we get started, I'll just make sure everything is up and running. Wait a minute to see if anyone can join us. Okay, looks good. Okay, so today is day 5, like I said. Today we are starting a new task. We spent the last 2 days working on the bathroom. Today we're going to move on to a new space. So today we're going to work on the linen closet. So what I want to remind you, we've hit the day 5 mark. So this is kind of often the point where, you're excited at the beginning, you were eager to get started. Sometimes your motivation kind of starts to wane at this point. So what I really want to remind you today is to just focus on being consistent. When you're decluttering, consistency is so much more important than intensity. So you will usually make more progress decluttering a little bit every day than you will when you wait until you have, like an entire Saturday to declutter. Often we burn ourselves out when we spend that much time decluttering, and often those magical Saturdays where we have lots of time to declutter never come around, or they rarely come around. So we often make more progress when we do a little bit of decluttering every day, or every second day, or very often, and just really stick with consistency and be consistent with getting the clutter out of our homes. So that's my encouragement for you today, is to really focus on being consistent. Stick with the challenge. Do your 15 minutes to 30 minutes of decluttering each day. Remember that every bit of clutter you remove from your home is taking you one step closer to reaching your decluttering goals, and that it all adds up over time. So just hang in there, keep going, don't give up. We're on day 5. You've already made it this far, so keep going. So today for our task, we're going to move on to the linen closet, or wherever you keep extra blankets, pillows, sheets, bedding, that kind of thing. So if that's not in your linen closet, then just go to wherever you keep those items. And what I want to encourage you today is to be really honest and realistic about what you actually use, what you actually need, and what you actually love. Often we can kind of keep a lot of extra linens, bedding, sheets, blankets, that kind of thing, just in case. Well, just in case I have a bunch of company, or just in case someone is sick, or just in case these wear out, or just in case this, or just in case that. And what I really want to encourage you today is to challenge some of those just in case thoughts. So to start today's task, I would encourage you to get rid of first anything that's worn out. If you have sheets, blankets, bedding, pillows, anything that's just worn out, start by getting rid of those. Those are the easiest decluttering decisions to make. Next, get rid of anything that you don't like, or anything that you never choose. If you have, 4 sets of sheets for your bed and you never choose the set on the bottom, or you never choose one of the sets, get rid of those. It's telling you that you don't need those. Keep your favorites and get rid of ones that you never choose. And like I said in yesterday's video about the towels, animal shelters are great places to donate old linens, blankets, sheets, that kind of thing. I know the ones in our area, at least, are always looking for old linens and bedding and towels and that kind of stuff. So if you have extras, especially ones that are kind of worn out, maybe too worn out to donate to a donation center, animal shelters are a great place to get rid of those and know that they will go and do a lot of good for some animals. So how to decide what you actually need. I know this can be tough, but what you need to think about is you need to think about you, your preferences, your lifestyle, your frequency of guests, all those kinds of things, to decide what do you actually need. For me, as far as linens go, I keep 2 sets of sheets per bed in our house, one to wash and one to make the bed with. I could easily go down to 1 set of sheets, but sometimes I have had 1 set of sheets at times, but sometimes I found myself just getting distracted and not finishing the laundry that day. And then, I'm up till 11 o'clock at night waiting for the sheets to dry so I can put them back on the bed. So I have found, for me, having 2 sets just works a little bit better. Also, when my kids were younger and there was like more of a risk of accidents or getting sick in bed or that kind of thing, 2 sets worked well, because then I always knew I had a backup if one of them got soiled and we needed a new set, especially in the middle of the night. But now that my kids are older, I could easily go down to 1 if I chose to. But right now I like to have 2, just 1 to wash, 1 to make the bed with. So that's what works for me. As far as extra bedding or spare bedding, what you really need to think about is, first of all, how often you host guests, and then how many guests you typically host. If you rarely host guests, you probably don't need a lot of extra spare bedding, maybe just like a few simple pieces. If you host a lot of guests regularly, you might need a little bit more. So just really decide what you need, what works for your hosting situation, and how often you have people over to your house. If you have like seasonal bedding or that kind of thing, I really encourage you to be honest about, do you actually use it? Do you actually need it? Do you actually love it? Sometimes we have seasonal bedding, but maybe you don't actually make the switch each season, or maybe you have too much seasonal bedding. You have too many options and you just don't need that many. So be really honest. Try to be as ruthless as you can. Aim to keep your favorites and get rid of the rest. Like I said, think through those what if case scenarios or those just in case scenarios, and think about what you could do, what else you could do. Or if you're really struggling to let go of extra linens and bedding and that kind of thing, this is another great time to try out the maybe box. So I explained the maybe box in yesterday's video, but basically you put your extra bedding in a box, seal the box, put it away out of sight somewhere, and then set a reminder in your phone for maybe like 1 to 3 months from now. And if you get that reminder and you haven't needed, wanted, or even thought about that extra bedding, you've proven to yourself that you can get by just fine without it. So it's a great way to experiment living without something and really test out if you need it or not. If you need it and need to retrieve it from your maybe box, you can. But in most cases, you realize that you didn't even miss those extra items and you could live just perfectly comfortably without them. So this is another great time to try out your maybe box if that's something, if you're struggling to let go of the extra bedding and you want to just test out for yourself if you actually need it or will miss it. So if you have any time left after doing that, if you keep other items in your linen closet, you can also tackle some of those. I know in our linen closet, I keep like our travel toiletries, some backstock products, paper products like toilet paper and that kind of thing. So if you have other items in your linen closet, this is another great time. If you have extra time or you get on that decluttering roll and just feel like you want to keep going, you can tackle the rest of your linen closet. You can spend a few minutes maybe like vacuuming off the shelves, organizing it a bit, doing some deep cleaning. Just do as much as you can and know that it all adds up and it all makes a difference. So keep sharing in the group what you're working on. I'll be heading in the group right after I get done here to check out. I was away yesterday at the orthodontist, but I'll check out what you guys were working on yesterday. So I'm excited to see that. And remember, just aim for consistency today. Aim to do as much as you can with the time you have and aim to become a consistent declutterer and know that it will all make a difference. So I will be back tomorrow for our next Facebook Live at 9:30 a.m. Oh, I'm just going to read this comment from Karen. Thank you for that reminder. Yes, it's easy to get caught up doing it all. You're always putting clean sheets on late at night too. I know. It seems to be the thing. We have these great intentions that we're going to make the bed and get it all done, and then it never fails. It always seems to be bedtime and there's no clean sheets on the bed yet. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that. Yes, so tomorrow we'll be doing our Facebook Live again at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and tomorrow we're going to be moving on to the kitchen. So this is a really high impact space to declutter. We spend a lot of time in our kitchens, and decluttering it and simplifying it can make a big difference in the way our kitchens function and the way we feel when we're in our kitchens. So I'm excited to get started on tomorrow's task. For today, we'll continue working on the linen closet. Do as much as you can, try to be as ruthless as you can, and remember that every little thing you get rid of is making a difference and helping you reach your decluttering goals. So thanks for joining me today, everybody. We will see you back here again tomorrow. Bye for now.